Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast, powered by Flowgas, making the greens greener. Now, there you are. Peter Finnan here. We're all in studio this week, actually. It's unusual that we're not doing anything remote, so joined by Ronan McNamara.
I've had worse weekends.
We'll get into that in a minute. Now, hold your wick there, hold your powder. And Mark McGowan.
Yeah, I'd love to say delighted to be here, but after an hour and a half stuck on the M50 earlier on, that would be lying.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, you've been a busy buckle over the weekend. It's been a busy few weeks for you, Ronan.
It's been a busy few weeks. Sure, I didn't even know what day it was there before we started. Didn't know when Liv was on.
Liv isn't until next week. I was like, no, there's only a couple more days left in March. And you're like, what? You spent half the month in Saudi Arabia.
I know. I'm gone.
How was that?
Jet-lagged.
How was that?
It was good. It's like people were grand over there and like good crack, but God, it's a weird out place. It's quite literally desert. There's the golf course. You know when you're standing on a golf course somewhere and you can look around, there might be things to see or whatever. It's just wasteland and fellas going around in diggers and trucks and just building. The country's being built around you as you're there, like. Yeah. And then you go to the hotel and there's nothing within 5k of the hotel. It's just there in the middle of these dunes. It's a mental place.
Some of the photographs you were taking, like I had to laugh at the no women allowed in the gym in the hotel and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, God! I tell you what, they're better off. It wasn't a great gym.
Oh, that's for health and safety reasons.
The irony was the receptionist in the gym was a woman.
And she was saying no women. Like, that's mad, though. It is mad that it's a women's golf tournament.
She's the one woman working over there.
Yeah, but it's insane. It is insane.
I tell you what,
were you uncomfortable at any time over there? That's the thing. Were you like?
No, because you're kind of sheltered from it all, aren't you? You're going you're in a bubble, really. You're hotel, golf course, and a shuttle bus. But it is strange, though. I'll never. Not that I won't accept it, but it just feels so weird walking around and the women are all covered up in these black like face coverings and everything. It's just mental to look at. Like, it's just so strange.
Yeah.
And then you've white women coming from over from Europe who can do and wear what they like as well. Like, it's just mad.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it though. It was different just to see it and be there. And
not as nice as Oman, but it was nice.
Not as nice as Oman.
No.
Okay, you're ticking all the Middle East off. Right, anyway, I see you on social the other day as well, getting a few snaky sessions in with Nils Conway.
Bucket.
Yeah, you're taking it serious this week.
Gotta keep ticking over.
Taking it serious this year.
Once the mid-am age got reduced from 30 to 25, I was like, right, on the ball here.
Give it a go. There's loads of stuff to get stuck in. We missed last week, so we're not going to go near the Genesis because that's old news. We'll stick. We might touch on little bits of it, but we'll get stuck straight into PGA Tour. Did any of you watch this?
I watched 5 minutes of it when I was out for the pints celebrating my wonderful Sunday yesterday. But
all right, go on. This is the second time. Why was Sunday so wonderful? Come on, just get it off your chest.
Because
without singing "Oh Beautiful Mead."
No, I think that on the way home. Liverpool won the Carabao Cup despite playing a team which resembles a Go Games in the GAA. It was a pretty cool camps squad they ended up on at the end, beating the blue £1 billion bottlers. And then, of course, it was the Ronan versus Pete derby at the weekend, and obviously Kildare came out on the wrong side of it.
We're going to win Leinster, though.
Humbled by Columns youngsters, humbled by the bench, Lynchy off the bench, off the right, terrace side of the sideline, over the bar, not a bit about it. But I came across the golf.
Enjoy it.
That's all I'll say.
Enjoy it.
You're just looking at it, and like, fair play to Knapp. We'll get into it, what it means for him and all the bloody puns, but wasn't it just a dreadful leaderboard? Like, Christ on a bike. Like considering last week we had so much hype over Tiger Woods, even with the withdrawal, there was so much buzz around it for some reason.
That was cat as well.
It's all just flat as a pancake now. Like,
it was probably the good. You're right. The good first, the winner. Fair play to him. Knapp, really good player. Serious swing speed, serious ball speeds he was getting. For such a relaxed tempo of a thing, he gets it out there. He's a serious player. And it's nice to see guys like that getting opportunities and kicking on and doing what you want them to do and progressing their careers and all that. But like, that's where the buck stops with this event. It was the most dour, absolute shite event
Nonsense.
I've ever followed in my life.
But like Knapp's been hanging around. Like, have you seen his name? He's hanging around leaderboards there a lot. Did you see his strokes gained approach to the green? He was obviously first, 8.729 strokes. Like, that's Scotty Scheffler. There's TV interviews, there's magazine articles, all that crack about it. Scandalous stuff. And he could putt as well. He gained 3 strokes in the field, but was 17th in putting because he was hitting it so close all the time.
Did you watch any of it, Mark?
Yeah, I watched like the last 5 holes or so, maybe. I tuned in at the point where I was like,
Jeez, you went mad.
I might have to. I was like, I might have to chat about this tomorrow. So I'll actually tune in and watch a little bit of it. I got firmly behind Big Sammy once I tuned into it. It's always great to see a big fella, a lad who doesn't exactly look like an athlete.
A big fullback.
I always appreciate those.
No, but you missed the best part. Like Valimaki at the very start, he bogeyed. He came out of the traps fast. So Knapp, is it Knapp or Nappe or what's his
Knapp is the German fella.
Yeah, that's why I keep getting them mixed up. But Knapp anyway, he bogeyed the first, and Valimaki banged an eagle in early and took the lead, and then he just went. He fell asunder. Like, he literally totally hit the cabbage button, just went totally back. And I wasn't expecting that from him because he's a proven winner on the European Tour, and when he gets in situations like that, you didn't expect him to go backwards. But then you kind of knew, like, the golf they all played was fairly shite. It wasn't box office stuff throughout. You probably seen the most exciting bits in the last 5 holes. The rest of it was dour. And you know, they did well to get to a certain position, but then it was like no one wants to win this thing. Like Knapp hit 2 fairways in the last round. That's it, and still ends. It was a pure, just pump it out there as far as you can, find it, flick it to the green, and hope you're close enough to hold a putt. Like so. Yeah,
I tuned in. They were tied for the lead at the time, and within I think I saw 1 bogey from Valimaki, 1 birdie from Knapp, and after that it was just all par. So it was, I mean, because it was a tournament on the line, it was kind of semi-interesting. But other than that, like, there's no particularly great shots hit or anything down the stretch. I suppose the highlight then was the 18th hole when Valimaki stuck his tee shot up against the fence. But I was watching on my phone with no volume because I was being social, you know.
You're having a few.
So all I saw was like it was hard to pick out the ball, you know, the flight of the ball, whatever. Next thing, this camera zooms in and I see it's up against the fence, and I was like, oh, class! We're gonna get another fucking ridiculous drop off the fence here, because earlier on in the week, some SH Kim from exactly the same position managed to talk his way into a free drop by basically saying that he was going to climb over the fence
and bash it back in play,
and hit the ball back the other way. Now, quite why that entitled you to relief, I've no idea. But basically, Valimaki was in exactly the same situation. Obviously, he wasn't looking at social media. He didn't see the videos and everything of what ASH Kim did, because he, although I'm not sure that Sammy would have got over that fence to hit it back, though.
The fence would have crumbled. Sammy's a big man. Sammy is a unit.
He might have just run straight through it.
I actually like Sammy Valimaki. I think he's very good player. And the one thing I take from this, shy tournament, but it's great again to see. It's just a good endorsement for the DP World lads. Everyone that's got one of those 10 cards, even Georgia Campillo is finishing the top 20 of this event. Your big Bob McIntyre finishing tied 6th, I think, and they're mixing it up there. They're actually getting stuck in, and they're breaking down that mentality in the States. They always had that we're just not good enough to go over there and compete en masse. When you see guys like that going over, of the 10 guys, half of them are going to keep their cards at least, and that's getting rid of some dirt players that have been clinging on, be it the older guys or guys that have been there, done that, or hopefully Justin Thomas's and stuff like that, the way things are going. But it's good to see that sort of churn, and that the DP World Tour, the lads that go across they're putting on a good show.
Yeah, Campillo in particular was a strange one to see in the field this week, because he would have been the defending champion in the Magical Kenya Open.
Yeah.
A tight,
tight
course and everything. But but this is his first start on the PGA Tour. He's played on the DP World Tour up until this year, and the event he went over to choose to play in was like an absolute bomber's paradise. Like, you know, I mean, you can see.
Yeah, it was an $8 million bomber's paradise compared to like.
I know, but they were
playing with rhinos for $300,000.
But there were other events he would have been in though.
Yeah, no, there were, but like, yeah, he's obviously just kicking it back.
No, fair
I'm not going to question anything. Like, Pavon's winning tournaments and then telling them to stick their signature events up their holes and heading off. Like fair play.
Go on about how bad like some of the what we call non-signature events on the PGA Tour are now, but like you can't argue some of the stories I've thrown up have been pretty cool. Like Nick Dunlap obviously is an obvious one. Win the Amex, Pavon of course, like Nick Taylor again, and then obviously now Jake Knapp. And the European Tour lads have obviously played well. Pretty much every week there's been a non-signature event one, so it has that going for it. But like even that's kind of your clutching at straws really. If you want to be interested in like sort of the human side of golf, you can get into those kind of things, but
it doesn't do anything for viewer figures.
It doesn't do anything for the PGA Tour really either. But
this used to attract a decent feel. Like this event, like you look at the last two winners, like Tony Finau won it last year and John Rahm the year before. Like it does.
But they were star names in relatively moderate fields.
They were pretty much the only guys in it.
It's the same with the Cognizant Classic this week. We've 3 Irish playing in it. That's arguably the 3 best players in the field this week.
And I think when Ram won it, he was actually probably going through his worst spell since he turned pro. Like his form had suddenly, I mean, as much as Ram's form ever deserts him, he was playing as bad as he's ever done. And he went down there to the Mexico Open. And you were like, well, Ram's playing shit, but it's John Rahm, and then there's everybody else in the tournament. So you're like, he really should, like, he should win this. It's not a Rahm is back, sort of big statement. It was just like, well, if he didn't win it, you'd be going like, oh Jesus, his form is really, now it's worrying. Like, so
it's like when the Junior Cup golfer gets enough shots back to play Piers Purcell the next year.
Yeah, but like, it's what did the PGA Tour want though? So it is really, and it's starting to look a lot like the bottom of the Premier League or the top of the Championship, how skewed in football terms things are, or like even how skewed the bottom of Division 2 and the National Football League is, so like Meath are looking safe and stuff like that now.
We're going for promotion.
Yes.
This fella here beside me from Donegal is quaking in his boots ahead of a promotion showdown on the final day.
No, but it is. It's a 2-tiered system now that like it's like what they tried to do with the signature events has actually backfired, that now none of the other lads, that they don't want to play in anything, only the signature events. And their value of themselves now is, if it's not a $20 million event, I'm not playing it. I couldn't care less. And they don't go en masse to these events. It's just, I don't understand that they just don't know their product so well on the PGA Tour. Like, how does the winner of this event get, I'm looking at the FedEx Cup standings here, how does the winner of this event get 500 FedEx Cup points and into the Masters? That's an absolute joke, I think. Yeah. Considering the strength of the field and what's in front of them.
I think it might be a little bit of a hangover from the week before as well. At the Genesis in California, like how many players allegedly got the shits at that tournament?
I know, yeah.
And they're like, we're going to Mexico the following week. You're like, I can't make Jesus, that's it.
Bad bit of food poisoning going around the world's top 50, like
burrito.
But it is. It's just. It just highlights the.
The rewards are so great though for such poor fields. Like,
but he won $1.5 million.
And never mind the money, but the events you're getting into.
He's into
players,
he's
US
getting
PGA,
into
the Masters. You're into all the signature events, which I think is fair enough to be put into those. There's your promotion system. If you like,
the biggest question for me, and I know you've just highlighted the 3 of them are down there. Why wasn't Shane Lowry playing in this event? If he's willing to put his name to go to Singapore in 3 weeks in prep for the Masters, I would have thought a Shane Lowry that's outside the world's top 60 now and mad keen to get into these events. On his best day, Shane Lowry absolutely wipes the floor with the like of Sami Valimaki. And if this is the type of event that is his gateway and his key to get back into where we all know he should be, but he's not there like this week. I really don't think it made sense at all when you look at what's on offer. 500 FedEx points. He's in the Masters already, so it doesn't matter. but it's those signature events and getting back to where it was. I would have thought this was low-hanging fruit for him, but he's not there. And Harrington's down there.
I agree, and I know Laurie is playing this week as the Cognizant Classic, used to be known as the Honda Classic, where he's played well before. He probably should have won. Maybe was it 2 years ago? So unless he's kind of thinking, well, maybe he's targeting that week, but the Arnold Palmer Invitation is the week after, which he's not in unless he gets into
the top 5 of that Aon thing.
Yeah, but I mean, this. Yeah, I completely agree with you. This was probably a glorious chance, to take maybe possibly 2 good weeks for him.
Yeah,
which will push you into that, or at least give your name a little bit of pop, so that you might be more likely to get a sponsor's invite if you're playing well and
just missing out,
stay having your names
semi-relevant.
I'm
sure there's perfectly good reasons behind it, but I thought Shane should have been there this week, especially with Paddy down there, because you have company, you have something to go out with, you have range buddy, you have a practice buddy, you just go out and do your thing. And maybe he didn't like the look of the golf course, I don't know, but it seems a very, very obvious tournament for him to play in, given what's up for grabs.
And for what I did see, actually, there wasn't a lot likeable about the golf course.
No.
It seemed like there was horrible cart paths everywhere. No, it's obviously it's classic resort style golf course. People are only going to go there and drive carts, and they don't want to walk any further than they have to. So you've got all these carts running down the sides of fairways and everything. But it looks horrible, and then it brings in an element of the ridiculousness into it, with balls bouncing off cart path and going in everywhere all over the place. So, but anyway,
it's just a strange tournament. Like it highlights the fact to me again. I know we're coming into a Live week, and like what Live have served up in their first couple of events this year, I'm a big fan of now. I just thought it was really good, but this highlights the fact of like just the need for a world tour is so there, and the PGA Tour are just carving themselves up. They don't know what their product is, who it's aimed at, how to structure it. They've no control over their players, where they play, where they go, and money and more money is just not the answer. Like they seem not to be able to innovate at all, and they're being dragged into this situation, kicking and streaming, and they still can't adapt. The answer is just always more money, signature events, more money. And it just doesn't work for them. Like, unless they start innovating, like, it's dying a death, some of these events. Like this was bad this week, and there's £8 million in the line.
Even though the story was so good, like Knapp he was a bloody bouncer.
Years
ago, but
that's the irony.
But to be put then into the Masters, like, how can you go from the bottom? Now you're at the very, very top. Like, if you're in the Masters, let's be real, like, just so quickly without doing very much.
The irony of him being a bouncer is particularly when he took off his hat after winning. You realise that he's actually got a little bit of a mullet going on, and he's got a little bit of a knacker tash going on. He's exactly the kind of guy that him as the bouncer wouldn't let into somewhere.
Yeah. You can't say the man is a knacker tash.
He's unlikely to listen.
Oh, stop!
Your turn to get sued.
I got a funny text actually that he looks like if Will Zalatoris and Cam Smith had a love child. That's what he looks like. So yeah, that person shall remain nameless. But yeah, I laughed at that. But no, fair play to him. You cannot take it away from him, but just not the best of events. Not the best of events. And I'm happy to move on to the... I'm just going to keep calling it the Honda Classic.
Yeah, honestly.
The Cognizant...
Grand old Honda sitting at there.
Yeah, exactly. The Honda Classic.
That Honda's not long for this world.
No.
There was... did you see one more thing on the PGA Tour? Like, I know from watching it last week and this week, did you see the Matt Wallace... These interview things aren't working, by the way, with the earbuds in and walking along. I don't know, like last week... Mackenzie Hughes during the third round of the Genesis really got my grind up. Like, it was literally pontificating this bullshit about how great the PGA Tour is, and like it was just so bad. Like it was like it was scripted, and he was walking down the fairway talking about playing for honour and all that. You might as well have just like...
he's Canadian though. They're all about honour and good manners.
But
the case in point is there though, is it not? You watched that Mackenzie Hughes interview Did you watch the Matt Wallace one? You did?
That's what I was going to get into. Like,
no one gives a shit about those two lads.
No.
Now, Matt Wallace is actually a lovely fella. I met him at the Ryder Cup.
He is not a
soundest
lovely
man.
fella.
He's
He
the
is not a
soundest
lovely
man going. Never mind the caddies. He's a
he's
soundest
a caddy
man
assassin.
going. Yeah, look.
I know he's an angry man to heat a battle.
But
you're
you're not going to watch Mackenzie Hughes and Matt Wallace doing the piece to camera on course. Like,
the only thing about Matt Wallace, what I was going to say is this week he was actually good walking because he dunked a shot into the water when he was doing it and still put the earbuds back in. He could have walked away, like he didn't have to. Could have just told him, no, I'm not doing this again. But so he like literally cut this tree wood into the water, and he explained what happened. He thought he could get the lie to it, came out a bit spinny and cutty and just didn't make the carry. And he was very honest then about, this is what it's all about. This is where I fell down before. I need to be more positive. I cannot control what just happened there. Like, I'd be wanting to jump in the lake. I'd be breaking the tree wood.
Well, he usually would.
I know.
Well.
He's obviously going through something with like a psychologist or something like that, because the way he spoke about himself going up and said these situations are uncontrollable, and it was like he was talking to a psychologist. I found that interesting, but these things just aren't working.
I don't know, maybe he was going like full Begbie from Trainspotting inside or something like that.
Yeah, like it was just. But yeah, no, Mackenzie Hughes annoyed me the week before, but that's it. Charlie Woods, what do you think? Just stick in America for a few minutes.
I mean,
tough week at the office.
Let's not go into what he's scored or what he shot. Like, he's a 15-year-old, and he entered a tournament that's way above his skill set, and yeah, he found out the hard way. Like, it's a learning curve for him.
74 for 17 holes though isn't too bad. You know, in fairness, better than Rory McGee, who we played with that day.
What did Rory shoot?
He didn't put in his card.
Did he not? No. Did you try and talk to Rory afterwards, actually?
No.
I was going to say, like,
I was going to, but when I said NC, I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah. No, it was, apparently it was mayhem around Wood. Like, I seen Nuclear Golf and a few of them on Twitter putting up stuff about, like, crowds of 50 and people asking him to sign shit during his round and going up and annoying him for stuff and all that.
And my favourite one was about the Palm Beach Post had reported that a grandmother found out he was playing, took her granddaughter out of school to bring her along in the hope that Charlie Woods would notice her. It's like, so effectively she's trying to pimp out her granddaughter there. That's the way I took that.
It's arranged marriage stuff.
She must think there's a little bit of the chip off the old block going on there.
If he's like his dad, he noticed them all.
Yeah.
but
I mean, that's just bananas. I mean, he's 15. Like, there's all sorts of like.
I felt a bit bad for him. Like, I know he's
so
incredibly privileged and he's going to have a great life, like, regardless, but I felt bad for him like that.
So do I. You don't need that media. Like, he should be playing events of his own age group and just win rings around you. That I don't think he needs to be exposed to that at 15 years old.
For the PGA Tour social media accounts to be like
all over,
here's footage of him arriving in the car park and all that shit. That's it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, and I hope to God, like, Tiger is absolutely tearing somebody in at the tour a new one for that. Like, that's like, it's one thing doing that when Tiger arrives for a tournament.
But the thing about the frenzy and the mayhem and going up to him between shots, trying to get him to sign stuff and take pictures, it's just so incredibly American. Like, I was just thinking there, imagine him walking down the fairways in, say, Lahinch. No one will go near him. They just stand and watch him. No one will bother him.
I don't know. There's a little bit of that Americanized that's coming into Irish life as well.
We're not like them.
We're not following far behind. There's plenty arseholes around here who'd be fucking queuing up and torturing people for pictures and all as well.
Footage of down in Park Tolchin there the weekend. Lynchy was swamped by kids after the game.
Rightly so.
Yeah,
he's an icon.
Swamped by kids.
He's an icon.
Like, so no, it's definitely creeping in. But no, I agree. Like, it's just a bit too mad. I feel sorry for the kid. He shouldn't be exposed to that sort of stuff. But yeah, you know that they're going to use it to their advantage and strengthen him mentally. And Tiger probably knew he wasn't up to it and just throwing him in, trying to take him back a peg. He might be getting on a bit. Like, you just don't know what the mentality behind Tiger. Tiger was, like, professionally, Need to word this very careful. Doesn't make very many mistakes professionally when we're talking about golf. Yeah, personally he's made quite a few. But so there's definitely something behind it. It's not, I don't think, I think Tiger knows exactly what he's doing. But, just take him down a peg and see what, because it's very hard. It was very easy, from the way he was brought up, it was very easy for Earl to do stuff like that to Tiger and put him back in his box and make him feel very, very small, to make him learn. Very few ways Tiger can do that to Charlie, and this seems like one of them, that he threw him into something that he knew was well beyond his capabilities, just to let him know, listen, you need to work your arse off here.
Yeah.
If this is the path you're going to choose, you need to work so hard and outwork everybody else. And if you don't do that, you have a target on your back for the rest of your life, no matter what. Like, you're not playing for money, you're playing for titles. And if all you want to do is pick up a paycheck, it's not going to work for you.
Wonder, does Tiger let Charlie play other sports? Because I was watching the Tiger documentary on one of the flights back from Saudi Arabia, and just the thing where he's like, oh yeah, Tiger wanted to go play other sports when he was a child, and Earl said no and the mother said no. I wonder, does Charlie get that kind of freedom?
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Like, does he play five-a-side on a Tuesday night?
Oh, even Rory stopped that. Remember that after the Open?
Oh yeah. Because he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he done his ankle in playing five-a-side football.
Do you remember the one year there was some tournament was on, and like a load of the golfers ended up like playing a five-a-side match against the local teams. Yeah, do you remember that? I remember Sergio Garcia was playing in Illinois, because you're like I bet you Garcia takes five-a-side unbelievably seriously.
He's decent
Garcia
footballer.
could play like Spanish third division or something like that.
Yeah. His brother-in-law is a serious footballer. Oh, the silence now.
No one cares.
Do you know who it is?
No.
No? Pablo Hernandez.
Ah,
play with Leeds.
there we go.
Really?
Was he there when he's got relegated?
He's no,
No.
it wasn't. No, take that back.
Which year are you talking about?
We're back now. HMS pissed the league. That's it. Back to 6 points. They're not so clever now, the Leicester lads. Right, let's move on from the PGA Tour. DP World Tour. I actually did watch a bit of this because it was on a nice time of the morning. So Darius Van Driel, wire-to-wire victory. It wasn't as easy as it sounds. Like, he shot 67 in the last round. He didn't really kick into gear and take over at the top of the table, at the top of the leaderboard, until sort of halfway through the back nine on the last day. He sort of midway through the round, but it was a decent tournament. There was a lot of lads could have, like, at one stage there was 4 or 5 of them tied at the top, like Connor Simon, guys like that. Ewan Ferguson was getting in and around it, and I thought it was someone like Connor Simon. This is his breakthrough. This is what's gonna happen, but no, it just didn't happen. I needed the 2 Oliveira brothers, Nacho and
Manuel.
Taco. Nacho and
You beat me
Taco.
to it.
That's terrible. That's how we got to celebrate our differences thing. That's bad.
And what about Joe Dean? With a bouncer winning in the States, and the delivery driver nearly winning on the European Tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was throwing up some good storylines. It was good. It was nice to see. The biggest storyline, the guy that got all of the headlines all week outside the winner was Ronald Mugawayo. Yeah, I have him down for later in the thing. We might as well talk about it now. He was just such, like, first Ugandan to. Now they hammed it up massively. They every day had him in.
It was a watery looking putt he got as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he done well. It was a good one.
It was like watching like the owl lad in your single stale for the club, like get his first bird. He's willing it in with the hips and the knees.
No, it was brilliant, and just to see a cheer and a roar, like, that's going to change his life. It will actually change his life. And that's the good thing about it. Like, he gave some great interviews afterwards. First guy from Uganda to make a cut on DP World Tour, and like, there's only, like, I couldn't believe, like, there's only 18 golf courses now. I know, yeah, Uganda's not, it's as well known as Saudi Arabia as a hub of golf courses.
They're sending aid to dig wells and get people water in the other part of the country, so it's probably no surprise that there's only 18 golf courses.
But there's for the amount of people, 50 million people or something like that in the country. But yeah, no, fair play to him. He gave good interviews. Very humble guy. he will get a lot of invites to things now because, like, this is a massive. This is what the RNA are doing with, like, you know, African championships, Latin America championships, stuff like that. They need to grow the game into other areas, and this guy doing what he's doing is he's going to be in the same way I think as Brendan Lawler was for Ed getting golf with disabilities. This guy is going to kick into gear as, you know, a proper representation of golf in Africa. So, and fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to him.
But yeah, he kind of stole all the storylines on that. But yeah, it was a good tournament. It was a nice finish to a tournament. Nothing like there was just some mad shots coming down the stretch. Like, boys hitting shanks out bunkers and everything. Like, and it was just, you were seeing some really spectacular golf and then seeing, oh my god, that is an awful shot he just played there. But they got sort of hammered over by the weather as well a couple of the mornings, and you don't expect, like, you're going to Kenya, you don't expect, like, literally monsoon rains in the middle of what is probably their summer. Like, so yeah, it was a bit of a disaster from bits and bobs. It wasn't the best of weeks for Connor Purcell as well. It was a big opportunity for him, and 74, 77, well off the pace and a missed cut. So disappointed. I don't know, did you talk to him during the? No. You avoid lads when it's
we're all about the good news.
74 first day, right? We'll just leave him be, see what he does tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I meant to ask you that actually. What was that like so when you were in Saudi, the first round, Leona shot what? First round? 74, 5?
It was 4 over, wasn't she?
She was 2 over, I think.
So
she bogeyed 3 of her last 3, and I think she had 3 3-putts in her last 6 holes.
So, and you're following, you're probably the only one following her,
yeah,
right? Going around, and she has to talk to you afterwards out of pity. What's that like? That's the most horrible place to be.
Honestly, I wanted to be stoned. It was just so bad, because you know yourself.
You were in the right country.
We've all done it, and like, you just, like, as she said herself, you're there to do a job, and I was like, yeah, look, it's just 60 seconds.
Give me
that's
something.
It. Like,
give me something.
Like,
just give me a headline.
Give me a shout out or whatever. Like, give me a how are you. But no, she was in much better form then when she shot to 64 the next day, which was bloody outrageous. Like,
sit down, have a bit of lunch and everything after that.
Yeah, talk about Cavan.
Yeah, that's it. That's what.
But like, to see, like, I have this thing. Any tournament I go to, I'll do work, go out to follow the back 9 or follow 9 holes and go back in. But like, seeing her shoot the 64 was ridiculous. Like, and it doesn't look good on television. She's not the most stylish golfer hitting the woods and everything. But Jesus Christ, the accuracy is outrageous.
Yeah, no, it is. And the accuracy with, like, 7 woods and fucking rescues, like, she'd hit that like your sandwich. Were you clipping her clubs as well in the practice round? Did you ever go on one of her clubs?
No, one of the lads she was playing the pro-am with gave me a shot at his driver, because I was just going around with them for like 5 holes, and they let me drive the buggy and all that kind of crack. So
that was grand.
Did a good drive as well.
Good crack. That's what all about. That's what's all. No, but it was, yeah, it's one of those awkward things when a player does that. I just said I'd drop that in, but no, Connor Purcell, yeah, but like, there'll be plenty more for him. Like, he'll get plenty more opportunities like this. I think he is primed for a good season still. I think of all the guys that are there, they're only getting back into it now. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's very hard, but he is going to get starts on the DP World Tour as he got this week, but they're going to be few and far between and everything.
Yeah, so you need to take advantage of them.
It's very hard to just turn up and have it on, you know, obviously if you're getting consistent starts in a row and everything, you know, you can get a chance to play yourself and play your way into a bit of form and everything. But I mean, he landed there probably knowing that this is a big opportunity and probably like feeling the pressure a little bit to make the best of that opportunity. And it's often really, you know, it's probably the time when it's hardest to perform, whenever you're actually feeling the pressure. So you know, be back to the Challenge Tour for another couple of weeks, and we'll see him probably making another couple of starts before the summer on the DP World Tour. But yeah, it's a tough ask to get into that top 20 on the Challenge Tour rankings, you know, because it's such a long schedule, and you know,
he was so close last year.
He was so close last year. Played very well last year, and came so close that he's possibly got a better chance to play well on some of the DP World Tour starts and get his card that way. And yeah, that's probably why he'll be very disappointed this week. Like,
no, it was a G for D event as well earlier on the week. Brendan Lawler finished third in that event. Didn't all work out for him. Kip Poppert won by 5, like an easy victory, and like he's just dominating at this level now. It's that's his 9th win. Looking at on these G4D events, there is a new event that they announced during the week. I'm not sure if you've seen it on the PGA Tour announced at the CJ Cup with Byron Nelson in late April that they are actually having a G4D event as part of that as well. So that's good to see. At least it's moving across stateside. Hopefully that's where money comes into it as well, because like
Hopefully Kip Poppert doesn't play.
yeah, well no, he will be, because it's the top 8. It's the top 8 in the standings, in the like gross standings or whatever. I think Brendan's second on that,
second,
third on that maybe. But Kip is so far ahead. Like yeah, he is. But like Brendan showed on his day at the Open last year, he took him down a peg. Like when he like Brendan can be a feisty little character. Like when you have him in front of you, like, you know, he doesn't take any bullshit. Like he really goes at it, and he wears his heart in his sleeve as well. Like so, yeah. Like he's.
I was chatting to Brenton after the rounds. He just said, like, you know, it was his first tournament this year. He's had no warm weather practice or anything. He's been just playing on the simulator and at home, very little on the course golf. And then to pitch up in Kenya, at like a mile altitude, and expect to perform to the top best of your abilities. It's a massive ask. So he wasn't overly disappointed. He was, we probably felt that he could have done a little bit better than he did, but no, he was reasonably happy with the week. But I was asking him about the announcement about the G4D event at the CJ Cup. So interestingly, I mean, first of all, he said that it's an absolutely huge, massive thing for disability golf. But Brendan is likely going to be in Japan the week before, where he's got to start he's going to get a start on the DP World Tour in the ISBS Handa Championship. That tournament concludes the day before the G4D event at the CJ Cup starts. Now, it's a massive ask to make a cut on a DP World Tour event, of course. But if he was to do that, then there'd be the potential, in which he was talking about possibly doing it if it did come up, of him finishing the tournament, hopping in a plane in Japan, flying to South Carolina, is it, for the CJ Cup song?
Yeah, it's like Craig Ranch, TBC Craig Ranch, yeah.
Fly into there and possibly just going straight onto the golf course to play, which is, I mean, he's a better man than me if he's able to do that.
That's gas. That is some crack. Well, fair play to him. No, hopefully that all works out. And it is a big move. Once the PGA Tour start recognising these things, you hope money is just around the corner, because these guys are still playing for free. And I know we've went down that rabbit hole so many times before. But right, Challenge Tour. The old 54-hole standard kicked in again.
54-hole standard. Yeah, weather strong wins. Apparently there was so there's 6 Irish in the field there. Gary Hurley and Dermot McIlroy made the cut, and Jonathan Caldwell played really well over the first 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds. He played 6 holes of his third round before play was suspended for darkness, after it had been suspended for, it was like 6 hours of a wind delay. So tournament ended up getting shortened to 54 holes. Caldwell was tied for the lead overnight going into like the remaining sector of the third round. Just got off to a bit of a bad start on his 7th hole, which is a par 5, scoring hole. He didn't take advantage of it. He parred it and then double bogeyed the next. And at the same time, the other guys were all making moves forward. He took a couple of steps back, and he just never really got back into the mix from that point on. But he finished 5th overall. It's the best result we've had of an Irish guy on a Challenge Tour event, I think, since Dermot McIlroy at the Spanish Challenge last year. So it's been a rough enough year so far we've had 6, 7, maybe 8 guys have all had starts on the Challenge Tour, and this is by far the best result we've had. So, I mean, you got to take the positives out of that.
John Murphy looks as well. Like, he had a couple of solid rounds. He missed the cut by a shot.
John Murphy missed the cut.
70-71,
missed
but
it on
like
the number. Unlucky.
Really, like, first tournament out, first roll of the dice this year. That's some good signs. Like, you know, he's well capable. When he sharpens up, he'll do damage. So it's nice to see that, because he wasn't putting those types of scores in last year. And, you know, took a little bit of time away and all that as well. But no, that's really good to see.
Yeah, and Conor O'Rourke was also making his first start of the season, and he actually had a hole-in-one on the Thursday. So it was his first ever competitive hole-in-one. The rest of the week didn't pan out exactly the way he'd have hoped, but still, it's a nice little bonus to get.
Yeah, he sent me a picture afterwards. He was getting the Coca-Colas in for everyone.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's an expensive enough week missing the cut rather than having buying drinks for everyone then as well. Like,
sign of the times, isn't it? Though, back 25 years ago or so, getting a hole-in-one might have fucking bankrupt you.
No, it is, but no, it's good. Like you say, they're all. Who of them is out again this week?
There's
no challenge tour this week.
So. No challenge tour this week. Okay, all right. Anything else in the challenge tour? No. Done. No. The LPGA was back. We can briefly go into that. Your woman, Paddy, goes back to back.
Back to back. Gareth Flusky's got some stable lads. The money coming out of his ears now, I'd say, in bonuses and everything. But like, I spoke to her in Saudi Arabia. She said she said he's helped her a lot with her short game, and they're in regular conversation, you know, over Skype or whatever, all that kind of thing. So it's good to see. Like, it's good to always attach an Irish name to anything.
Yeah, because she's gone through her troubles over the last, like, she hasn't had it all her own way for the last while. So the Saudi win was huge for her, and then to go and back it up on the LPGA the week after.
Yeah, she was a bit like Michael Richards bursting onto the scene there at the Chevron. But she blew everybody out of the field that week. Obviously had her poor run of form and her struggles and all that kind of thing. But lads, she's a world class player. Like, she's unbelievable. Watching her live was just like a class. Like, she drives it, averages 289, 290 off the tee, like, which is big for,
it's
for
massive,
women's golf,
big
for men's golf as well. And it's she's no slouch off the tee for sure. And like, her wedge play is so good. Like, she's taking on these unbelievably tight pins, downwind, out of rough at wedges, and getting spin on them. Like, she's so aggressive, so refreshing to watch. Probably a different style of player to your typical woman. Not so much like, you know, straight down the middle all the time. She's not afraid to be in the rough, but longer than everybody else. She plays a very aggressive and attacking style of golf, which is obviously very refreshing to see. And I think it's good to see her back. I think she'll kick on, as you say, but like, she always was a
super
top talent. Like, she, like, when she won the major, there was no sense that she was going to be a flash in the pan. Not the way she performed. But it's interesting. You say she's won back-to-back wins. The LPGA don't think so. They said it was her first worldwide win since like the 2021 Chevron.
They don't recognise
it.
They
actually didn't even say
the week before.
They didn't even say her first tour win. They said her first worldwide win.
Yeah.
Jesus,
it's a disaster.
Yeah, well, that's it. They don't even recognise.
Maybe they just removed Saudi Arabia from the map.
That's it. Yeah, well, they're doing too much business with the LET.
I just read the first paragraph of the press release on their website and was like, right. Delete
the whole thing.
But I mean, that's a huge thing for her as well. Obviously, winning in Thailand, winning in her home country. We've often spoken before about the additional pressure that brings to particularly people from, you know, countries that aren't typically renowned as golfing countries. You know, she's obviously by far the biggest star there. You know, it is really akin to Leona winning the Irish Open, and like, what a huge story that'll be.
The KPMG Irish Open.
When it happens.
Refer to it, yes. Give it its name. Give it its name. Tickets on sale now.
KPMG Women's Irish Open.
Yes. Tickets on sale now. Go get tickets. KPMG Women's Irish Open.ie. No, there's plenty of tickets. Carton House this year. Anyone that doesn't know, that actually will sell out when it comes closer to the time. I think it will.
Oh, absolutely.
Dromoland did last week for the weekend, so it'll be good. Looking forward to that. And Leona finished midfield, like, finished well back.
Carbon copy of her performance in Saudi Arabia. You know,
flashes of brilliance, like.
Yeah, flashes of brilliance. Meth kind of first round, throws herself into the mix on the Friday, and then the weekend just goes stale. But definitely trending in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, she's gonna kick on. Everyone's going to kick on.
Everyone's going to kick on.
On Lynchy.
Maybe not Kildare.
Easy, Tiger.
Kick
Right, on to the roundup then. A couple of bits to get through in this. Joe Lyons' hand luggage coming back from the Spanish senior amateur. What's going on here? He's causing all sorts of ructions on our social media platforms today. Who wrote this piece, or who's put it together?
He won the Spanish senior amateur, shot a 67 final round to come from 3 behind to win by 4, actually, which was just pretty impressive. So it was on in Seville, and he's getting his Ryanair flight, as you do, cheap and cheerful, literally. And they goes up to the Ryanair desk to, I presume, check in or something, I don't know, and they say, no, you can't bring no silverware on the plane, no silver on this flight, no Boeing silverware. And they say, literally, you're going to have to leave behind so we can put it in the bin.
And he did.
It's only it's only 50 quid to put it in the hole.
Hold on, did he actually put it in the bin?
No, I think he just left it there.
He just walked away. He just abandoned it. Easy come, easy go.
It's like Dustin Johnson with the Nicholas Jacklin Award at the Ryder Cup there the other day. He was like, "Where is it?" I don't know. I think I might have left it in the plane.
That's a shame.
It is such a shame because it's not every day you win like a national title like that. Sort of
prestigious title. For sure.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah. And that's a serious. I know Jody Flanagan was up there when I seen it last. He kind of fell off the pace a little in the last round, but that's some final round by Joe. He is playing some golf. Over the last couple of years, because I know John Craven played in an Am with him last year and said he'd never seen a man strike a ball like him, but just couldn't get it in the hole from 3 or 4 foot. Went through his putting woes, but
Joe got to made the match, played the top 16 in the West of Ireland last year. He won the senior close. He qualified for the Senior British Open. I mean, he's playing absolutely serious golf. And
no, it's a great one this early in the season. It's a great one.
There'll be more trophies to not put on planes in the future.
I hope his name was engraved on it by the time he got to the airport.
You think now? You think they weren't allowing it in. He would have just snuck it in the bag or try to do something. He obviously didn't have the room for it. You're not expecting
maybe he was kind of showing it off. Maybe it could have been in the bag. And he just thought it was
no. So it is anyway. It's a good win for him, and it will be a good season going forward. There's a lot. You're laughing away there. No, but it's just mad that we don't know what's happened. He just walked away from the trophy, left it at the airport. They wouldn't let him on. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the trials and tribulations of the trophy. See where it ends up, or see what happens.
Probably doesn't make the top 10 or top 50 of worst Ryanair stories.
No, definitely doesn't. Ian St. John can top that.
Yeah.
So, right, into what else is going on. The Masters invitations. Good to see that they've invited a couple of players along that deserve it. Yeah, Waco Neiman definitely deserves his place in there. Torbjörn as well, and the LETs. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name.
Ryo Hitsasuna.
Go on, Hitsasuna. Okay, go on. Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year. Last year or the year before, didn't he, on DP World? So
yeah.
It's good to see when they're giving away spots in the Masters for shite that was served up on the PGA Tour this week. It's good then that they actually look at players all around the world that are doing stuff. And people say what they want about Waco Neiman and going to live and you reap what you sow and all that sort of stuff. But he's travelled halfway around the world to try and at least earn his way onto the Masters. That was his goal at the start of the year. Went to Australia when he didn't need to. Won out there. Done some damage and played a few DP World Tour events as well, trying to get into the world's top 50. Didn't happen. So it's great that they recognise players like that and players that aren't in the field that,
sacrificing all that time he could be spending with family, in fairness to him, well in.
Oh, stuff.
Or with his dog. Hello, Matt Wolf.
No, but it's good to see. It is good to see. Anything else then? Our top 100 came out last week, Irish Golfer top 100 courses. Some good debates during the week on bits and bobs up and down. I don't know, did you get any feedback here anywhere?
Got plenty of abuse, so I did all right. I was the same excuses. I'm not on the panel.
Hey, you're not even on the panel. Yeah, you're getting abused.
I'll go on the panel next year. I'll fix the problem.
There's even pictures of people who are on the panel, so it's clearly not me or you, Mark.
What is the problem? What was highlighted to you? Interestingly,
a few people think our glass is not is a little bit higher than it should be.
Yeah, and like the question we asked, have they played Ardglass in the last 5 years with all the changes? That is the thing. It's fairly up to date. Like there's a few courses, obviously. The new Druids Glen came in, ranked quite well. There's so much that goes into these things, and at the end of the day, there's 8 of us on the panel, and it is literally, it's all of their opinions.
And people throw at you as like, well, such and such is on the panel, and they're a member of such and such a club, and I was like, but they're only 1/8 of the panel. Like exactly. like 7/8 of the points came from other people, so.
Yeah, it is. Where it does get a lot, and like it's where I actually like the list on it. Like, you look at other lists, global lists, like, and people highlight that every year that Royal County Down is regarded as the best golf course in the world. We don't even have it as the best golf course in Ulster. Like, it's mad. But it's a testament to the products that are being served up and down the country.
In my opinion, it's not even the best or golf course in a county that begins with D in Ulster.
But no, it is. It is nice to see, and there's some good new entries as well. The like of Blaine Rowe getting in onto the list and stuff like that as well. Courses that have put some serious work in over the last couple of years, and not looking like they're doing it for their members and they're doing it for visitor experience. But when it gets recognised, then and like all the top 100 really is to get debate going, to get people talking about courses, about different areas, not like how you rank a course. And there's a piece in there. I know John Short wrote a piece in the magazine on like judge it on when not on like the greens. Like every course in the country has been like underwater last year. 3 years ago they were drought, and like it's just every year it's so different. And to try and judge it on different parameters and not just the greens were slow, so it's a brutal course.
Yeah, and you said it's a great thing for getting debate. Yeah, after I finished playing golf on Saturday, we sat around. The next 25 minutes or half an hour was like pure debate on that. And like I said, I was just like, standing back going, "Hey, not me, not me."
I've had a lot of Cork people in touch. It's the first time on our list now. Cork Golf Club has stepped up ahead of Foda Island as well, right beside each other.
Oh,
so like and yeah, like. So you'll see. No doubt you'll see marketing messages from Cork Golf Club, ranked number 1 parkland course in Cork this year.
You've put Blur ahead of Oasis now.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's it. Has to be done. But no, it's good, and it's good debate. And
County Meath Golf Club must have been 101, was it?
Ah, yeah. Just missed out.
Greens are absolutely unbelievable, by the way, this time of year. Thanks very much.
Right. What else then? There's the match tonight.
Yeah,
for anyone that cares.
Yeah, West Ham, Brentford.
No,
I'd watch it if I knew where to watch it. Like,
I don't know where to watch it either. Yeah. So
if I had a dodgy box, I would watch it. But since they're clamping down on them, and I most definitely do not have one,
you sell them. You don't have them. You sell them. I don't own one. I just yeah. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say there. It's like your man with the machine down in Tralee.
It's good to see the women getting involved, and you've obviously got 4, pretty good characters as well teeing it up. Like, I'd say it would be good.
That should be good. Like they do need to do more of this, but like I don't know.
Tell me this: DJ Khaled is going to be providing cart commentary. Like, all right, I'm probably showing my age here. I've heard the name. I've seen pictures of him. I have no idea what he does or why the feck he's always got his head stuck in any of these little.
He just loves golf. He just loves golf. He's mad into he
seems like an absolute arsehole.
Yeah, but like
he loves golf.
It's just like there's a lot of arseholes are really into their golf, he loves golf. He's mad about it on the social media channels and what he's at, and it'll be interesting to see, because they're obviously there's a little sprinkle of live going on with all these little ideas and what they're doing sideline. This is nothing to do with the PGA Tour, but they've their finger in it somewhere, doing something on it. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from it.
I'm gonna watch it later on, and I'm just gonna enjoy.
I'm
gonna enjoy absolutely hating on DJ Khaled for anything he does. He could turn around and say like Mark McGuire watching in Ireland.
Do you even know what he looks like?
I'm gonna send £1 million your way, and I'll complain about him.
Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, I know what he looks like.
He's like Prince Nazim Hamid.
I know it, yeah.
Like
He's
current day, not the lad that came down on the carpet.
Fat Hamid.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
I don't know much about him, but I hate him. That's like it's
like me with Bill Murray. Actually,
nobody can tell me.
I like that. I like that.
Bill Murray's actually the only guy I've ever tried to take a selfie with. Believe it or not. This is back in the days before you had the forward facing camera. Yeah. So I turned around. He was at the Irish Open in Portrush in 2012, and I don't know why I asked him for a selfie because I've never done it before and I've never done it since. But when I actually turned and looked at the picture, I had all of Bill Murray's face and everything, and like me from like the nose over. I was like, that's a lesson learned. Oh, never again.
No, yes. So Live Golf back this week as well. We've Anthony Kim.
Yeah, AK-47.
That'll be
back with a bang.
Yeah, back with a bang. It'll be mad. It'll be mad to see him.
Like you've raved about Live. I think they've had 2 editions so far.
Yeah,
you've raved about them. I'll probably watch because I want to see Anthony Kim.
Yeah,
he better have the belt buckle.
It's another, he will. It's another reason to watch it. Like it is, it's fascinating viewing just to see what's gone on since the start of the year. It's just pure drama. Like it really is good. And like compared to what's going to be served up at the Honda Classic this week,
Cognizant Classic.
Yeah, like Live is like. It's winning the war at the start of the year, but it's not winning the war to take over golf. It's winning the war to like legitimize what it's doing and make it more mainstream, and it's working.
The PGA Tour have never needed Rory McIlroy to step up more probably than they do this week when he's one of the few big names in the field. They've had realistically an absolute shit roster of winners this year. Great stories all in their individual things, but people want the big name winners. They want John Rahm going on a run like he did last year, Scheffler winning, McIlroy contending, all of that kind of thing. This week, they really need him to step up because chances are
he's gone. Apparently, you listen to Chubby Chandler, he's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. Yeah. Chubby, that's
enough said.
Put full faith in what Chubby said there. I was like, you know Ram's going to be up there again in the Live leaderboard. There's no way Ram's finishing outside the top 10.
Outside the top 46. There's no way he's finishing outside the top 46.
The cut anyway.
No.
But yeah, the Anthony Kim thing it adds extra juice. And people say all about how can this be like serious competition when you're giving a start to somebody that hasn't played.
How can this be legal? Like watching wrestling. How is that move legal? Egyptian hypnosis.
He comes in with the money in the bank, ready to cash it in.
Yeah. Oh no! That's what they need in Live. They need to get the wrestling comms in.
Music. Yeah,
they need to get like Mean Gene and all the lads. Yeah.
That's AK's music.
No, that's what they want. That's what they want. AK coming from nowhere to the first tee.
It doesn't have the belt around his waist. He's got it over his shoulder.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. No, but it's it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. It is, and I've really got my juices going for it as well. Like this year, and I did start to watch some early preview screenings of Full Swing as well, of the second one, and like there'll be no spoilers on this pod or anything like that. But one thing from watching it is so much better. I'm like 5 episodes in now. It is so much better than last year because there's so much. They're not mansplaining things and going to different. Oh yeah, and this is because of that. It's literally fly on the wall stuff with players going through struggles.
Are they not going to tell us 64 times over the first 3 episodes that the top 65 ties and
there's none of that anymore.
If you don't make the cut, you don't get paid. It's as simple as that.
It's none of that now. It's literally like Rory McIlroy is all over the first 3 or 4 of them. It's good, like, and then they're like really stuff that you will never have seen from about locker room stuff with Rory McIlroy talking about his own failures and stuff, like really, really good stuff. I was blown away now by the first couple of episodes. Really, really good. So
send us on that link.
Yeah. No, it's in the post. It's out March 6th. Anyone that doesn't have that's waiting on a Netflix, it's out March 6th. So we'll have reviews and preview stuff coming in then. But yeah, we won't spoil any of it. But it's so much better. It's really good. Right, heroes and villains. We wrap it up for this week, lads. Heroes. I'm going to kick it off. I've Ronald Rugameo.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Done. El Ronnie. Ronnie from Uganda. Making history. Doing what he does. Poster boy. Kick on. Right.
Yeah,
Heroes.
don't really have any. Don't have anyone to trump that. So
Right.
we'll all roll
2
behind
for
you.
Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie as well.
3 for
Maybe
Ronnie.
our
That's
champion.
it. The most famous Ronald since Ronald McDonald. 3. Right. Villains. Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
I'm gonna flip flop the opposite side on Liv now, and I'm calling out Bryson. He did some awful interviews during the week on, I don't know what podcast. I think it was Fairways to Heaven or something.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. Like they were two of his best friends on the thing, and he just uttered absolute horseshit on OWGR. Just the usual crap, saying that they've met every criteria and they're like, when they clearly haven't, and nobody calling them up and anything. Like, he made some valid points about like people, like the egos need to be watered down on both sides and they need to just cop onto himself and move on. But some of the points he was making was just pure Bryson bullshit. And
but he was claiming is like the silence. They're saying nothing on us. Well, they actually released a statement a couple of months ago that explained exactly why you weren't getting the word record.
No, and these are the reasons why. But I just had to. It was the one thing that I heard during the week that I was just going, no. It's lads like him, like Liv, have made, in my opinion, such inroads in the first few. Then you get someone like him coming out and just ruining any momentum, saying stupid things.
But it's one of the reasons why I miss Bryson so much going over there, is that any time a microphone is in front of him, he's going to say something stupid.
Yeah,
it was glorious.
Yeah.
I really missed that.
Right, villains for you guys.
Villains, right, for me. Well, inspired by you a couple of weeks ago when you did a bit of navel gazing and called yourself the villain. I'm afraid I'm going to have to do the same this week. Partly because you did it, and partly because I was told I had to do it. So I was playing a competition on Saturday, and I committed the cardinal sin on the second last hole of not hitting the provisional when I should have. Had to do the long walk of shame back. Had to call the group behind us through, and which, as I was told, I had to point out, I three putted for triple bogey and still fucking scratched the hole. So. And ended up losing the competition on countback. So
you ended up losing on countback.
So I would like to apologise to everybody out there.
I never need to hit professionals, but anyway.
Well, mine was straight. It's just because I've been doing so much work in the gym, it just cut the corner a little bit more than I'd planned.
My hero, I touched on it earlier, is obviously the LPGA, probably the LPGA comms team, wherever they are. So there's 2 pictures here. And one says, the last time she held a 54-hole lead, Patty Tavatanakit became a major champion. She has a 3-shot lead heading into the final round of the Honja LPGA Thailand. Then after she wins on Sunday, the LPGA comes, they tweet again, incredible last 2 weeks for Patty. Just selective acknowledgement of a golf tournament, like.
Yeah. They kind of glossed over it a bit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So they're your villains.
They're my villains.
LPGA, so not Patty.
No,
not Patty. Now your friend.
She's my friend.
Right. Our events as well. So I think that's a wrap for this week, lads. Our events, visit irishgolfer.ie/events. We launched a couple of new events last week since the last pod. So Tralee was launched onto the schedule, and the K Club Palmer South. Tralee sold out in about 15 minutes. There is a waiting list in operation on it. The K Club is still there. That's selling well. And yeah, there's plenty. So the events are going to be kicking off in the next month and a half. So check out all of the 18 events that we've listed up there. And outside that, all the news and anything happening this week, irishgolfer.ie or any of our social channels. Interact with us. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. And cheers for tuning in. And we'll talk to you again next week. Bye.